To be honest, it was a surprise, and it was a very emotional moment for me. I was proud and I felt honored.
When did the idea of Europe become important to you?
I participated in an exchange between my school in Germany, my high school, and the high school in Bordeaux in France. And I went to a family where the parents were active members of the French resistance against the Germans. And they were a long time reluctant to receive a German in their house. And when I left from the family, I understood for the first time what it means after the First and the Second World War, cooperation, for example, between my country and France. What does it mean to forgive crimes committed in the name of the German nation by those who suffered under the German occupation? These were moments where I understood which historical gift the European Union is for us, especially for us, the Germans.
Where would you start looking if you were to summarize what it means to be a European today?
But national identity is strong, because national identity gives a feeling of security to people. The European Union is created to save our heritage, our cultural heritage, the art, the literature, our movies, our landscape. This is our heritage, and we should save it. It's wonderful to have a German identity, or an Italian one, or a French one. It's wonderful to have this multicultural, multi-ethnic, multilinguistic, multi-religious continent. And we should save it, but we should be honest. For cultural identity, for multilingualism, for the past of Renaissance and Baroque, our children will not get jobs in the 21st century. Therefore, Europe is not there to replace our identity. To be a European means to save what we had in the past and to add what we need in the future. Therefore, the challenge for the European Union in the 21st century is to play an economic role, to play an environmental role, to play a regulatory role on the financial markets as a strong political and economic power.
The prize is given to the EU at a time of considerable economic and social tension. But to what extent do you think that this tension is a threat to peace and stability on the continent? Could one imagine that the inner conflicts themselves are as big a threat to peace as conflicts between nations?
Yes, my answer is quite clear, yes. And if we look to the reality of our European Union, the biggest threat for the Union and for the internal stability of the Union is this unbalanced development, this gap between rich and poorer countries.
The Nobel Committee mentions enlargement as an important part of the reason why the EU is given this prize, not least because of the way the EU attracts and affects societies close to the Union. In your view, is the EU using this power the way it should these days?
The enlargement process is, in my eyes, one of the biggest success. We are living in times where we forget very fast. 22 years ago, the Soviet Union was still existing. Far more than the half of my lifetime, I left in this bipolar world. I was on the good side and they were on the bad side. My country was divided. I have a friend, Donald Tusk, the Prime Minister of Poland, who is from the same year born, 55, like me. I was born in freedom. He was born in Danzig under communist dictatorship. I ran for the first time for the European Parliament in '84. There was a communist dictatorship. The second time in '89, my second run for the European Parliament. He was still in prison. And in '94, when I was elected, he was free. And today he is a prime minister of this country, and I'm the president of the European Parliament. Working together for the future of our continent is fascinating.